A very good morning to you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Smart means business. We are live here on Smart 24 TV. It's always a delight to have you today, the 30th of July 2024. This month has just zoomed past, and it's worth reflecting as this month ends. What have we done through this month? It's always worth it. My name is Kem Chadorin. I'm joined by my colleague Noah. Noah, the month has ended.
Oh, has it?
Yes, I mean, like, we have, I think, tomorrow. We're wrapping it up. We're just wrapping it up, doing a couple of things, and then off we go.
People are already in the future.
People are already, by the way, people have already reached. Some people, I was talking to a friend and she said she's already in 2025. Yeah. Given how fast.
Did you ask him how it is? Are things different there? Have they arrested more corrupt?
These are time travelers. Have they?
Time travelers.
Yes.
You always see that meme where they say the guy who went to check 2025 has come back, and then they're showing he has sweat, he has dust.
Yes. But we must be optimists, you people. Let us attack the day. Let's think of the positive that can be within the day. Now let's just give you a couple of hints on what we're going to be talking about today. We're still talking about the effects of corruption on its impact really on economic growth. We want to find out really, is it worth it? Can we go along like this and still have something happening for Uganda? Is it, whether it's the norm, are we so affected? Yes, so what if you can't get to the health facility and get that Panadol? Can you still be able to move on? Can you still be able to live with corruption? We want to find out whether this is. But also especially we want to look at some of the social norms, things that we do, that we have been encouraged to do from as young as possible. Yes. But actually they set a platform, a precedence for corruption. You do remember those instances whereby they say, Tonde tidabwavo. When you are a visitor and you're supposed to go and check out someone, whether in the office, whether it first started from home, but now it's also in the office. Yes, and they would say whenever you're going to, our parents taught us that whenever you're going to see someone, please go with something.
Go with something.
Yes, go with something. And now this is down still etiquette, talking about in the office as well. So how does that? We will be looking at the ways in which things such as the social norms that we are ingrained with can actually usher in a tendency for corruption. And then, of course, for national, regional, as well as international news, we will be looking at a couple of things that are happening across the East African community and across Africa. Some very good things happening as well in DRC Congo. Please keep with us here. DSTV 372 as well as GoTV 320. You can as well get us on all our social media pages, Smart 24 TV official, Smart 24 TV on X, Facebook, YouTube. Get in touch with some of these topics. Let us know what you think about this.
And the show is streaming live on YouTube right now. So even if you're leaving your house and you feel you need to pick up with a conversation, you can just set your YouTube, put the phone right there in front of you, and drive to work while you're watching SMB. Otherwise, we hope everyone is okay. I mean, we don't know how you slept, but we hope everyone is okay. I love that Doreen said one thing, today is going to be a good day. Yeah,
today is going to be a good day.
That was very motivating. I love that.
Had you expected anything different?
No. I mean, it's always good to have somebody that is going to say something that is going to keep, remind you that actually, yes, the possibilities are there. So when he said it's a good day, I'm looking at a lot of possibilities today on things that have to be accomplished.
What about Namawojolo yesterday?
Namawojolo, you feared to go to Namawojolo.
You feared. Noah feared. Please let it be on record. Noah feared. The challenge was on screen here, but the moment we've got out of this,
the moment I said, let's go to Namawojolo now, Doreen disappeared.
Let's talk about, let's just give a hint on Uganda's economic growth. There's been quite a little bit, let's do the comparisons. Okay, there's been quite something on infrastructure, a couple of roads even right now when you're coming all through. There's some that are still being revamped, and then of course you have that accessibility opening up all these areas, Maram roads being turned into tarmac, and then you have other footpaths being turned into, you know, legitimate pathways for cars and getting into, especially when you're looking at accessing those rural areas, so that those people who, the farmers down there, can be able to tap into, have their goods moving from one place to another and access the markets. This has been on the increase in Uganda. You can't negate that. But however, of course, you do have the criticisms coming in that, you know what, Uganda, having had some of the roads, the most expensive roads actually in the on the African continent. Is it even worth it? Is it even worth it? A road that is the most expensive could have actually repaired a couple of other roads or built another 5 roads somewhere else. Is it because this is an opportunity? It's like a party. The moment the money is good, and these are even loans, you know, World Bank loans and ADB loans, normally that get to finance some of these projects, infrastructure projects. But others critically say, is it really worthwhile? Is it worthwhile to be this indebted when there's really nothing to show for it? And even in addition to that, the poor quality of the roads. Hardly had it been commissioned before cracks came in. You know, you've had stories such as that, and hardly had the bridge been commissioned, then, you know, it fell away in the flood. Today I'm here to listen to, I think, to see how Doreen has gotten a double-edged sword. We don't want to.
Against planners. She has come with a double-edged sword against planners and implementers of government programs.
No, let's talk.
And double-edged sword is starting with the people who are UNRWA, actually. We should be looking at UNRWA. And of course, now we also look at the people that hand over the money to UNRWA. And then at the end of the day, we are seeing. But anyway, how can Uganda have, you know, okay, one of the most expensive roads in the world, with the fact that we are not even among, you know, developed countries, but we have that. It's where you draw the torch. Yeah. And if you make a comparison with Tanzania's budgets on roads, Tanzania's budget on hospitals, Tanzania's budget, general on infrastructure, even Kenya, that is the biggest economy in East Africa and one of those competing economies in Africa, their express did not cost as much as ours. So definitely there's a problem. But yesterday we were looking at institutional integrity. It also brings us to that level, because somehow it's when we need to ask ourselves honestly, as you implement that road, you are aware of what you're doing. You're very sober that this includes taxpayers' money, even if it's borrowed. I don't know, maybe sometimes they have an assumption that since it's borrowed, it's Uganda. But you should know one thing, it's still taxpayers' money, because at the end of the day, it's our money as Ugandans that's going to pay the debt, not you who is implementing. So I think sometimes we miss a point. We have had scenarios from the Gavi fund that were stolen to a lot and a lot. Yeah. Now Lubowa Hospital, where already 400 billions, over 400 billions have already been spent.
And now there's nothing to show for it. Where have they reached, by the way? Where have they reached?
At the foundation.
They're still at foundation level. But how do they account? Where do they get the audacity to stand and say, this is how much has gone?
This is how much.
Where do they get the audacity
to do that?
Yes.
So, but I think at the end of the day, I will agree with what so many Ugandans say, that we need to take a collective fight against corruption. Yes. Yeah, I had a conversation, and a number of things are being highlighted regarding how in the past we have combated a number of challenges, you know, citing polio, citing, you know, a number of those other things. The campaigns that we had, COVID-19, citing how we combated COVID-19 as a collective team of
because we were dying, rich and poor.
But when
we were dying,
because
rich and poor,
rich and poor,
waiting
but this time
for
the rich
oxygen.
are not dying actually.
Yes.
So corruption keeps the rich going.
No, I'm saying.
No, but actually,
I'm saying once you're all fighting for that oxygen, rich and poor alike, for that bed.
People should know that.
It is different.
People should know that corruption has killed more people than COVID.
But
I don't know if we are aware. Corruption has given us bad roads, and even the rich are dying on those bad roads.
It leads to accidents.
Yes. Corruption has given us bad hospitals, and even the rich people's relatives have died in those hospitals.
Yes.
You get? Corruption has given us, has given us a lot of substandard services in this country, and all of us were suffering with that. Because if we are to evaluate the cost, the impact that corruption has brought to this country, you're going to realize that this is a pandemic that we have not even realized that it is. Because you have money, you think you're enjoying it, and it's stolen, you forget the fact that you are eating from your country. Don't give an example. Sometimes there's a time I always sit down and I'm like, okay, even the people that get jobs and give to their relatives, from government, they know the truth. Yeah. They know that unemployment is a problem, and they are struggling to make sure that their relatives get those jobs.
Yes.
You get. Now, one question is, what if you worked and organized the economy, created more jobs? You get. Minimized on this eating, created more jobs. Yeah. Forget somebody who assumes that building a hospital for myself, yes, you have created jobs. But if that money is put on national institutions, do you realize that there can be a more multiplied opportunity than you spending it on that particular institution only?
Do you know what I'm thinking, Nora, right now? I'm just thinking about how ridiculous that conversation sounds to someone who has been desensitized.
I know.
Yes?
True. That is very true.
Do we know how ridiculous we sound to someone who has been desensitized?
Yeah.
They sort of like flip off. They totally flip off. They do not see it. And this is where I've asked so many guests that we've had here, Noah. I've asked them one thing. What are the alternative ways in which the average Ugandan, and when I say average, it is everyone out there and us included, can come out here and really rally for support and make sure that they're doing their best to fight corruption at whatever level? Is it only that you must have a protest or a peaceful protest or something like that in order to get what you want, to get some change? Because clearly this is now a grand scale corruption in Uganda. And then I also said, because I have had so many conversations, so I also asked, what about how do we rally up, the Ugandan from that point of saying, I'm tired. The man with the pink cap that we showcased last week, the one that stands there and watches someone being flogged and they're like, today, let's go back and do our stuff, Because no matter what I do and how loud I shout, it does not make a difference.
It does not make a difference.
So even as I speak this, at the back of my mind, I'm thinking to myself, what is this person who's already desensitized, this man with the pink cap, what is he thinking?
What is he thinking?
Yes, what is he thinking in his mind? And how can we make it personal? Because until you make it personal for every person out there and saying, you know what, yes, you broke it down, came down and said corruption does A, B, C, D, and when someone gets onto that road and has an accident and dies, your relative, you yourself, your spouse, that is when it now hits you differently. It hits you differently. But for as long as you're not part and parcel of those within that brackets, of those that have lost friends and colleagues to those particular accidents because of those roads.
We should all listen to Council Prima.
Yes, yesterday.
You get ready for, what time is that?
That's 9 to 10.
9 to 10. And watch traffic officer stopping you and tell you, you know, be a Ugandan. And some people panic and they give them money. They give police officers money, 50,000. But in actual sense, for example, if a traffic officer has caught you not wearing a seat belt, Council Prima made me realize that actually the penalty is 30,000.
You got your voice back.
Yes.
Your voice that has disappeared.
The penalty is 30,000 that you can pay in 1 month.
How much have you paid? Yeah? How much have you paid before? It looks like, you know, you're just wondering, this is an eureka moment for Noah.
I know.
He's saying, all that money, why do I even, Papa? Why?
And Ugandans are paying that money.
I know.
So he's like, you know.
Mobile money, just park here. You don't even know that the period is payment in 1 month. You don't know that there's even a ceiling to how much can be paid.
By the way,
knowledge is very empowering.
By the way, just to help you, usually police officers who are taking bribes, they don't check money. They don't open their hands to see what they've been. No. It's like hey.
No. 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 They check just to make sure. They check just to make sure. They do a little bit and, you know, wave their hand
so
a little bit.
Comedy. I saw this funny clip of this guy that handed over, you know, a border handed over to a police officer. And then he rode off. It was a skit.
And there was nothing. There was a paper.
There was a paper. I laughed. I was very happy.
And because of that, they always check as well.
They don't check.
I remember being one instance whereby that I was told, let us say, I was told of that one instance that happened. And this person, of course, there is a way that it's done. You check a little bit and say, you man, this is very little. Add.
The police officer said,
yes.
The boldness.
Yes.
The confidence.
Exactly. Add. This is very little.
The shamelessness.
But that is what it is. That is what it is. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back. And when we come back after this break, we will be immediately diving into the press review. Just give you a little bit of that hint of the press. And then we'll also dive straight into Karibu, East Africa for regional news. Let's take a short break, right?